John's not here anymore to laugh about it.
Now.
It's real estate time. It doesn't mean that it's real estate.
It's always real estate time.
It's always real estate time. What's up, people? So many people on the podcast today. Welcome, everybody. Mike Frank, Christian Olson, Heather Kelley, Miss Heather Kelley on the podcast today, talking to you guys a little bit about, some improvements that you can make into your home and things that people aren't thinking about. How's it going, guys?
Hello.
Going fantastic.
Woo! Can we do that again?
Hello.
It's going fantastic.
There we go. Because Heather's here and she's working hard and she's upstairs making phone calls while we're live on the show. And now we're here. Welcome.
Gang.
Gang. All right. So I have a question. It is a busy morning. All right. So I have a question. Number one thing that people overlook when they're thinking about selling their home. Like, number one thing, property improvement, the thing that bothers you the most. I have my fucking bullet point right here in my head.
I would say I have two.
Mm-hmm.
It's the deep clean, declutter, depersonalization.
Of course you do.
And then the other one I would say is just like a nice caulk and seal.
Nice caulk and seal. Okay.
Yeah. You know?
I'm about that life.
I'd say what I hear most from my buyers is windows and around them will be old as hell, and they're like, do you know how much that is to replace them all?
Yeah.
That's probably what I hear the most of.
I can't.
People are so annoying.
Yes.
Twins. Okay, so the other thing.
You guys are a lot harsher on your clients.
So the other thing that really bothers the ever living fuck out of me, it is a small value, but it is a huge impact. I fucking can't stand walking into somebody's house. You might not even pay attention to this, but you flip the lights and they come on, but they're dim and they have to brighten up. Right, those are CFLs that are not instant on. They're brighten, which is one thing. But I can't fucking stand when I do that. So now I'm looking up at the ceiling because the lights are dim, and the lights are different color. I lose my fucking mind.
I will say, walking through property and flipping a light switch and it not turning on, and there not being lights at all. I'm just what the? Are you selling your home? What are you fucking doing?
Christian this
is this
the
a
other
vacant
day.
fucking property? What are come on, help!
What happened
help
here?
you.
I went on a showing the other day, and it was a virtual one, right? So I was just gonna take a video and add everything at the end. And the first 3 various light switches I tried didn't work, so I was like, cool, no power here. I'm trying to do this whole thing with flash, and then I accidentally bump up against a light switch, and it works. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And I had to go to the top. It was terrible.
Oh my gosh!
It is frustrating because lighting, I think, is a huge portion of it, especially when a buyer's walking through your property.
Yeah.
Sellers really need to understand that you need to present the feeling of home or what it would be like for someone else to live there. And I don't say not deal with all the effing problems that the property currently has, but let's do something.
Yeah.
One thing I will say that I also can't stand from a seller and buying perspective is the idea of solar panels. I literally want to scream every time I fucking hear that. Hear anyone bring it up.
What an eco warrior.
What an eco warrior.
What do you mean by that?
You're going to see The Rock in your dreams tonight. It's going to be like Moana happening all over again. What is this character in that movie?
Maui.
Maui.
Never seen the movie.
Oh my God. All right. First of all, you should watch. But second of all, why does solar, I know, but I want to hear why.
There's just no real value in my opinion. One of my clients recently was looking at getting them installed on his property, and it cost him about $80 grand. Mm-hmm. And understanding that the state's going to pay for a lot of it with a certain program, cool, whatever. You're planning to live in the home for 5 years. You're not going to see that direct $80,000 come back to you just because you install solar panels. Let's take into account how much of that is going to be left over by the time that you sell. Mm-hmm. Is the buyer going to have to take on any payment or any other leasing for solar panels? The maintenance and expenses that are along with that, all the nails and structures that are put on your roof, and then all the electrical wires that run down. It's just a nightmare. There's no real value add there, and you're not going to see that giant $80,000, $60,000, whatever it costs, expense added onto your home's value when you install them.
Lest we forget whether you own them or you rent them.
That's a whole nother problem in of itself. And then the other thing is that these solar panel companies, I see it a lot more when people lease them, but they can increase what they charge for you to get electricity over a period of time, and it's only by a little percentage. But how long until it just does not make sense?
Right. Well, and the other byproduct is you did this for the long-term gain, but then somebody's taking away from your gain because they're driving up their value.
And seriously, like the amount of people that purchase a home put solar panels because they're going to stay in it forever, I would say is very little. Like the amount of people that sell homes with solar panels is quite high in my opinion.
Right, I agree.
You know, and it's just not a good value add for one, you selling your home. These solar panel companies probably try and pitch you this great idea, but in my opinion, it's awful.
Yeah,
it's awful.
Now, mind you, Solar City might be the largest solar company in the world. Who owns Solar City?
I have no idea. I feel like I know where you're going with this.
I'm waiting.
Is it Mr. Musk?
No.
Okay.
It is Tesla Corporation, though.
Okay, that's pretty damn close.
I'm just saying. It's true. You're hating on your own people.
But it's just like the Tesla and yeah, I guess you're right. But nonetheless, like I find value in my car.
Right.
And it could be very opinionated statement, right? Like I don't like solar panels. I don't think there's value, but maybe somebody else sees it in that. But when you really break it down, you have to understand you're in it for the freaking long term. Like you're going to die in that house.
Right. Well, and I think the perspective that people put towards solar panel, if they put that towards other things in their life, I would be more happy, right? So
110%.
So you just go back to the simplicity of the light bulbs. When you're at Home Depot, you're at Lowe's, they have 5 different light bulbs and it has a little button like light up the room. These are the 5 different colors. Cool white, bright white, soft white, warm white, fucking
iridescent white.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, this one's the one I like. So how come when you go home, do you not go like, oh, I wonder what fucking color those lights are? Like if you're going to have intention behind what you purchase, why don't you have the pride of ownership to have consistency across your board?
Yeah.
Right? And so what bothers me is that if you're in somebody with like a bright white house, it feels like you're in a fucking hospital. Yeah. Especially if it's freshly painted, if it's neutral tones, grays, whites, whatever. It's like, ugh, right? Yeah. So for me, it's like a small thing that can literally change the feeling. It's almost like the idea of having a candle burning in the kitchen or having cookie smell around the house or having music playing when buyers are coming to walk through. Like these are small things, and no, they're not going to change the value of your home, but they're going to intrinsically suck someone in and intrinsically push someone else away.
Jumping back to the solar panel idea. When you said,
my geez Louise.
It relates to what you said. Like, I'd rather someone put the money into something else, whether it be in their life or towards their home. One of my friends who used to install solar panels messaged me and was like, what do you think? Like, do you think it's worth it, people putting it on there? I was like, no, I'd rather see someone put 60, 80 grand in other parts of the home where it's statistically proven that you will see a higher return on investment, whether it be the kitchen, whether it be the bathroom.
I think the challenge is that the companies have found a way to finance it. And truthfully, like, you know, think about it. Could you afford a $50,000, $70,000, $80,000 Tesla if you couldn't finance it?
No.
Right? So the financing of the solar panel became the sales point. So somebody walks up to your door, they go, right? And you're like, who's this guy? And he's like, oh, hey, well, you know, for negative money, I can help you get solar panels on your roof. And you're like, negative money? They're like, well, if I gave you this $100 bill right now, would you be willing to have a conversation with me? And the guy's like, yeah, sure. So he gives him a $100 bill. You sit down, you're like, all right, look, I'm going to give you a $100 bill every single month that these solar panels are on your roof. You would do that, right? And then some kid gets a sale. Some company gets to install solar. The system generates itself. And unfortunately, the benefit goes far back to the government. But it's just not a self-professing prophecy. It's kind of like built on I don't want to use that word, the thought, let's just say, of the opportunity of solar, right? Like, think about it. Buying your car was built on the thought of the financing. It wasn't built on, you know, having an electric driving car. It was buying, like, having the fucking awesome.
But I mean, having an electric car, that was a reason I bought it.
Yeah, but like no one.
I feel like that's on 2 totally different scales because. I mean, also, I guess I'm biased.
You are biased.
Very
just
biased.
A little bit.
Very. But like me as a real estate agent driving all around, like I find there to be benefits in driving an electric car, having one, and then also who doesn't like to go fast.
That's like Heather's point of saying like the eco-friendly people, right? Maui's over there carrying fucking solar panels on his fucking rock roof. Get it? All
no,
right, fine. You need to see the movie anyway.
Okay.
But like it's going to benefit them intrinsically, but they're not doing it because it's cost effective. They're not spending $80,000 because it's cost effective. They're doing it because somebody came up and was like, knock, knock, knock. And they were like, oh, this is a great idea. Finance it, done.
People that want to get solar panels, just talk to people who already have them and gather your opinion. That's what a lot of Tesla people do. They talk to other people who have Teslas because you see all this crazy shit on the internet. And every Tesla owner that I've spoken to before I bought mine, every Tesla owner that my uncle talked to, my cousin talked to before that they bought his, say great things. Right? I would argue
you bought a Tesla.
I did. But I would argue that if you go talk to every homeowner that has solar panels, you would have far more mixed opinions and, dare I say, negative things said about them.
I feel your perspective is probably most accurate. Mixed opinions. I think there are going to be people that are like, yeah, these are great. And you're going to go, why? And they're like, oh, I get a bill from the company and blah, 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 blah. And then they're going to have people that say, I mean, yeah, it's fine. And then you're going to have other people that go, these are awful and I wish I had never done it.
I think it's going to be more mixed than like the conversation that I had purchasing my car, though, is what I'm saying.
Right. No, totally agree. Totally agree. But that's just one improvement, right?
Yeah. But like, again, what if you were to put that money into a kitchen, into a new bathroom?
Well, but the other piece of the puzzle is like, what if you didn't do it? Just left it alone. Didn't do anything. Are you hurting your house value by neglecting to put solar panels on your roof? No. Right?
No.
So that's like my question here is like, what are we doing that's hurting our value? Right?
I would say not.
So like the light bulbs thing, it just bothers the fuck out of me.
But is it hurting the value?
I believe it does. Let me tell you why. It's a very philosophical answer. Sorry about it.
Jesus.
All right. So the philosophical answer is that if you take care of your light bulbs in this way, how do you take care of cleaning your toilets? How do you take care of taking care of the...
I was gonna agree with everything that you're saying now. I do agree with everything you're saying, but the way you're saying it is more directly to the light bulb instead of just saying, hey, common maintenance, like your standard maintenance.
Well, right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so when I walk in and I flip the light switch and that's what I see, I'm thinking to myself, oh, you're neglecting to take care of the other things.
Yeah.
If I see, and I can see the difference between handyman work and professional work. I'm not saying that there's no such thing as a professional handyman that does shitty work. That's not what I'm saying. But like when I do something around my house, I can see the quality difference than when a professional comes into my house. So when I walk into a property and I can tell that the basement handrail was handyman installed, oh man, the dog's cage is handyman installed. The door that's now a louvered door that doesn't look like it belongs there. I go in and I look at it and I'm like, oh, it's not quite plumb on its frame, right? Like I could start to see the things that are not handyman installed, or I'm sorry, not professionally installed. So then by looking at the lights, it's sort of like an indicator. Yeah. And it's just like, it's one thing. It sounds so stupid, but it's one thing. We just had a home inspection that went completely to this road. What is the thing that we're spending money on that we shouldn't be, and the thing that we're not paying enough attention to that we should be? Property is huge, big, awesome house.
Are you talking like you
yourself?
Just
last week. Property's awesome, looks great, freshly painted, new floors, kitchen counters, kitchen cabinets, kitchen, everything is new. Appliances look like they were used or refurbished or whatever. But like it's good enough to pass, you know? And we're like, all right, we're good. Water heater had some staining on the bottom, like some serious rust issues. And we went, we'll fix the water heater after we buy the house. We knew this going into the home inspection. All right. So home inspector opens the front door and his first comment, the lock just wasn't like set in the door. It just jiggled a little bit. All right, cool. Then it was like electrical outlet over here was non-grounded. Electrical outlet over there was reverse polarity. GFCI in the kitchen didn't trip, right? The refrigerator was missing an ice maker. The oven wouldn't turn on. The dishwasher ran for half of its cycle and then shut itself off.
Jeez.
Right? All the things that we couldn't see. So these people spent money. They spent money on flooring, carpet, painting, railings, a roof. And like the things that we couldn't see were just like neglected. This is like the complete opposite of what we're talking about here.
Right.
The things that you can see that just lower your value. But we were full on paying a premium in value. We knew we were paying a premium. I talked to my client about it. They were happy about it, but they backed out of that contract so fast because it was awful. Like, so awful. Yeah. Very, very bad.
Yeah.
But it's like, what are we doing that's affecting our property if we're going to spend that $80,000 on the kitchen? Well, should we have spent $82,000 and taken that wall down between the kitchen and the dining room? Are we impacting our value by doing such a small thing that we're neglecting? So it's like, if we're neglecting the lights and the color of the lights, are we neglecting the HVAC filter? Are we neglecting the cleanliness of the bathroom? Are we neglecting the, pests that have intruded the basement?
Yeah. Very fair point.
I mean, I think there's a lot of things that you can do to increase your value without really like spending a lot of money. But then there's things that people neglect that will hurt value. So one thing that we wrote down was the obsolete systems. So if you like neglect your roof, it's an old roof, it's going to kind of like impact your value. But if you neglect your HVAC system and your roof, and then you neglect the water heater too, then somebody comes in and has a home inspection. They're like, I don't really want this. This is so much worse than I thought it were.
Yeah.
Right. If you have obsolete systems, you have obsolete, plumbing, you have obsolete HVAC, mechanicals, electrical, you haven't taken the time to improve it. You could spend the 80 grand on the kitchen. But if you neglect everything else, it might make it a challenge to sell for top dollar.
Well, I was going to say, some of these things that you're mentioning, if you take care of them, you do your general maintenance on a home, something that we've talked about is just like confirming the sale of the property.
Mm-hmm. Like that's a good
point. You'll confirm the sale of your home by having these maintenance items taken care of and taking care of your property. And then also you'll be able to get a premium price for your home.
Yeah.
It justifies it even more.
And it mitigates any room for negotiation.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that it mitigates all of it, but instead of getting $600,000 for your home, maybe buyers are willing to pay $625,000 because they don't have to do jack shit.
Yeah. Well, and the argument that Christian's making is basically like, hey, your house value is $600,000 to $625,000, but if we sold it today, it could sell to one person that would pay $625,000. Or maybe 2 or 3 people would come in and compete if we listed it at $600,000. But if we paint it, we put down carpet or flooring, it might cost us $7,000, $10,000, $15,000, but we're confirming that there are 3 people that will now buy it for $625,000. Yeah. So it's a little bit more like you're investing the money to guarantee the sale.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that the biggest thing that people fail to see that's going to impact their house in a negative way are the things that people fail to think about.
I would agree. Now that I think about it, throwing these ideas back and forth, I'm kind of on board.
One of the last things we wrote down was windows and lighting. I know Heather's a fiend for some natural light. But even walking through a vacant property yesterday, it had those those little lights that are they're a disc. They're flush mounted to the ceiling, but they're not like recessed lights. They're flush mounted, and they're LED and they're bright as fuck.
I think so.
So you walk into a house and you walk into one that's got a one light bulb up there, and it's it's kind of dark outside, right? You walk into a house that has one of those flush mounted LEDs, pop, and those things are $35.
Yeah.
You can get that. You can install it yourself. It makes a huge difference. So at nighttime, especially in the winter, it's you're getting the lighting that matters. And then when the buyers come back for their home inspection during the day, they're getting the natural light that matters. And so all of a sudden, it's this whole cozy up feeling.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing. What else would you say impacts the value? Something that's a real bugaboo.
At what part in this are we talking? Are we saying it being appointment required versus go and show, or are we literally talking about the
whatever works
way the property is?
I'm thinking the things that the sellers are doing that are neglecting the value of the house. So think about it. Staging, right? Christian mentioned decluttering, depersonalizing. So you walk into a house, you've got all these perfect rooms, but then the kid's bedroom is fucking cluttered up with shit. It's got tons of toys, games, whatever. Is that a problem? I don't think so.
It's not a problem.
Well, but
it could be better.
The rest of the house looks so great. It doesn't bother me when a kid's bedroom is cluttery.
Yeah, no.
But when there's clutter in the living room, there's an extra dresser that's in the living room that they use to keep their old DVDs because they're a collector. And you're sitting there this is kind of odd. And then you open the bedrooms that are over cluttered and overstuffed. I'm all right, now enough, right? So what would be your one little, you could improve the value of your home by avoiding this tip?
Damn, that's tough.
Mine is light bulbs.
I don't know
so
about
easy.
avoiding. I found another thing that fucking bothers the shit out of me though.
Oh geez.
I don't want. We should.
I'm ready for it.
No, we should finish this thought.
I'm ready
first.
for it because I want to know what it is.
So when people have fucking humidifiers in every single, or dehumidifiers in every single room. Like,
Well, they go both ways.
What do you mean?
So there are humidifiers.
Oh yeah, I know they go
which
both
a
ways.
lot of people use in the winter.
Yeah.
And then there are dehumidifiers.
Dehumidifiers though.
Yeah.
Like when I walk into a property, I just see them everywhere, and not even just in the basement. Like that's totally fine. That's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have them in every single room, the buyer looks at that, and they're like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah.
Like I'm not even kidding. Like something as simple as just getting the moisture out of the air, because every home has it. But like the feeling that buyers get when they walk into that home.
What about like window units? Oh, I thought this house had air conditioning. Why is there a window unit?
Yeah.
Oh, they must like it really cold. Or like, hey, we're on the 4th floor. It probably doesn't pump very well all the way up here.
I would say that's fine. It's just like having mini splits like that.
I'm not knocking it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just saying like some people get put off by it, especially if it's there in the winter. Like,
Yeah.
come on, bro, take it out,
But
put it in the
also-
garage, let's go.
But also like you got to have an agent that can explain these things too, right? Not just like what the window unit is going to do, but what a mini split's going to do, what your central AC is going to do. Why do you have multiple sources of heat so you can inform the buyer instead of have them have this like negative thought around it? And you could argue the same thing for the humidifiers or dehumidifiers, excuse me. But I just find that like that one puts a bigger question mark or fear in the buyer's mind.
I think my
And they're just
perception.
like, what is going on here? Why do they have all of these? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, my perception is more like the why do they have it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like if the buyer has to ask, it's a problem.
yeah. Yeah.
You know, like if there's a CPAP machine, nobody's asking what that is, right? You get it. You see it. This is what it is. Should it be out? No. But like we get it.
Yeah.
But if there's a fucking, floor air conditioner that's plumbed out to the window, I'm like, why is there an air conditioner in here? I thought the air conditioning worked, especially if it's in the winter. It's like,
Yep.
what do we need to be worried about this next spring? And then, sellers want to just say, oh, let's throw a home warranty at it like it's going to be made better. And I think to myself, well, just get rid of the fucking air conditioner.
I also think home warranties are a scam.
Okay. Jonathan, that didn't happen. You did not hear that. Anyway, what was your one thing? Your one bugaboo? I like that word now.
And this is
Bugaboo.
like something that people overlook that brings up their property value that they don't. Can you repeat the question?
So what's your one bugaboo that you hate, that you walk into a property and you feel like, man, they could have made more money if? Mine is the lights. It's never going to change. Bothers the ever living fuck out of me.
Yeah. I would say a simple, just like, I want to say caulk and seal. Because like I know
You already
like,
said that.
Yeah, but like, fuck it. I say it again.
All right. Heather.
I don't know. Mine is simple as hell. I feel like I've seen so many of like kids' drawings on the walls and stuff recently.
You mean like kids drawing on painted walls like they shouldn't have been?
Yeah.
Or like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like how about just cleaning and painting your
that's
walls?
what I'm saying. I think it's like a simple fix.
Literally
but like,
every
what
time
my
I
other one was
walk
gonna be.
out of my
Yeah.
basement,
Paint.
yeah.
I think to myself, oh fuck, I need to get that Mr. Clean Magic Eraser.
Or
'Cause
like
it's
a
everywhere.
carpet clean.
Yeah,
you
right?
know what I'm
Like,
saying? Like
simple
simple
shit.
shit.
Simple shit.
Do you guys find that
You want me to go?
the magic eraser feels weird in your hand?
Yeah.
It gives me like the heebie-jeebies. I don't like how it feels.
Oh my god.
That's probably how you feel with any sponge in your hand. But
Microfiber. My perspective on it is like
I have to clean?
if you don't take care of the walls, you don't take care of the things that we see. What do you do with the
Yeah.
things that we don't see? That's always my perspective. And it's the same thing that I tell people. I always want to buy grandma and grandpa's house because grandma and grandpa took care of it.
Yeah.
Even if they weren't like wealthy and couldn't afford the big improvements,
It's the
you know
maintenance.
they took care of it because they were brought up that way. And a lot of times I walk into a property and I'm like really feeling it. My clients are like, ew, why? And I'm like, because you can replace the kitchen, you can replace the carpet, take this carpet up, put up something else. But you know what? While you're at it, feel the plush in this carpet. Like the lining in this carpet is unbelievable because grandma and grandpa didn't shortchange that.
Yeah.
They made sure that grandpa oiled the sliding glass door rollers. You know, they made sure that everything functioned. Everything was well. It's got to be safe for their grandkids. It's got to be happy and healthy home, right? I want to buy the house that grandma and grandpa have lived in for like 30 years.
yeah.
That's the best house because they always take care of the
We
little
love an
things.
estate sale.
I mean, estate
Love.
sales are good, it can also go like too far, right?
Yeah.
Because then you get the people. I was in a house this morning where someone had clearly lived there their entire life, like clearly, and it was very well taken care of. But in the last, let's say, 5 or 10 years, some of the improvements had been not quite as well done. And the example here, in the kitchen, there was an HVAC line run on the outside of the wall because it's not a new house. It had to be run in the kitchen. So cabinet, HVAC. But whoever ran the HVAC painted it to match the wall, put the wallpaper on it to match the wallpaper trim, and then painted the top. Like very well, timely, taken care of. Then right next to it was a PVC pipe that ran from the bottom to the top. But it wasn't painted. It wasn't taken care of. And I noticed that it was PVC because it just looked off. Above it was cast iron and down below it was cast iron. So obviously this was a repair that's happened recently. So their kids or their grandkids have now come in and started doing that maintenance, whether they're hiring someone or taking care of it. It's more like just get it done. The lack of,
oversight.
Yeah, like the perfection and the oversight is not there anymore because now we've gone to another level of like grandma and grandpa have lived there for forever. So there's a happy medium between that and estate sales. But I do love me an opportunity to improve value. So keep putting those weird light bulbs in your house and I'm going to keep buying them and improving the value.
That's funny.
Boom, roasted. All right, well, anybody have anything else to bring?
Fuck solar panels.
Yikes. All right. Well, Christian's very on one today about the solar panels. In the meantime, you guys know where to reach us at frankoliverco.com. Heather, thank you so much for being on today.
Oh my God,
you were
of course,
so quiet.
Guys.
Next time we need a lot more love. Anyway, reach out to us at frankoliverco.com. You can hit me on Instagram at michael.frank___ on Facebook or any other way you want to reach out to me.
Gang, you can find me on Instagram at Christian and the Deadhead.
That's it.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Heather Kelley 230
on InstaWorld. Thank you guys so much. Talk to you soon.
Later.
Bye.
What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. For more information on the housing market, Real Estate 101, how you can leverage your position in today's market, and so much more, click on the link below. If you like this video or have a burning real estate question you'd like us to answer, leave us a comment and let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode, and we'll see you again real soon.